Okay, we're ready to start. So welcome to our webinar related to detection and protection for advanced and persistent threats and also threat hunting. My name is Pavel Shepetina and I'm responsible for technical sales support in Group IB. However, I was working in Group IB for the last 7 years. I was in Security Operations Center, like lead analyst for the first 4 years. And I hope you will enjoy our webinar. We will take a look at a lot of examples. Also, it will be a little demo related to global threat hunting. It will be very interesting. So let's go on. But first of all, probably most of you are already familiar with our company. However, if not, you can read a lot about our business, about our products, about our services, also in some popular forecasts like a Forrester, Gartner, or IDC. Also, we are official partners of Europol and Interpol. Some global organization like OSCE or SWIFT can recommend us to use our services. We have many clients through all over the world in many regions. You can see here some examples. A few words about our history. So we started like an investigation bureau. We were focused on investigation and digital forensic. However, we started to collect a lot of information from our incident response services, and after that, we decided that we can actually use this information to prevent and notify clients about potential attacks. That's why in 2013, we started our threat intelligence platform to provide the last information about cyber criminals, about techniques that they use, also indicators of compromise, and some tools related to investigation as well. After that, we launched our threat detection system, which in the beginning was like a simple network analyzer, static analyzer, but now we have much more models responsible for file analysis. We provide much deeper traffic analysis as well, and we have endpoint engine which can be used for hunting as well. And yes, almost a year ago, we opened our global office in Singapore. So now we are a global company. Okay, let's talk a little bit about main products and technologies that can be used to detect and protect from different attacks. Yeah, like you can see here that the beginning stage is signature analysis, traditional antivirus, using of IDS, which can basically protect you from simple threats, known threats. But if you want to detect more, of course, you should use unboxing for your emails to analyze all attachments, use next generation antiviruses, and this basically can help you to protect from some unknown malicious code, because you will analyze behavior itself, which is much more better than just signature detection. The next stage is local threat hunting and use of threat intelligence as well. So basically, you can use third-party sources about cyber criminals, like our platform Threat Intelligence, to get information about last indicators of compromise, to get information about techniques that cyber criminals use, and also you can basically use this information for local threat hunting. And of course, you need some products, or just solutions which can be used to get information about your network, about your PC, because you need somehow to collect logs from different sources and then use these logs for your threat hunting. For this reason, you can use Endpoint and basically a stack of TDS products. And we also provide a tool which can be used for global threat hunting as well. I will show you a few examples later. Main vectors, of course, the most popular vector is email. Most of APT starts just with simple email. However, it's still popular to hack websites, which can be used to spread malware via these websites, or you always can find some insiders or on dark web forum. So these insiders can be used, for example, to launch malware locally. And phishing websites is popular as well to get some credentials of employees. And of course, some employees can just bring malware via removable devices like flash devices. Okay, let's take a look at this old example related to Bad Rabbit attack that was happened a few years ago. You can see that they actually used compromised website to spread malware. It was like a fake flash installer. And after that, when you click on the button like update my flash player on the website, on this stage, your PC is getting infected. This is just a simple ransomware which is trying to get money for decryption of your files. So you can also see here that they used different models for different stages, and basically they use already known techniques and known models. On the dark web, you can basically buy different models related to different stages of attack, and you can change them somehow to accept detection, for example, related to hashes or related to just popular known pattern. So they just use a popular tool which are they just use popular tool and get some changes to accept detection on the beginning stage of attack. And let's look at one of the last modern attack from Silence, which can be much more interesting than Bad Rabbit, because these guys are actually professionals. They always aim to steal money from financial organizations, and they actually have a very sophisticated plan to attack organization. Basically, they start just with simple emails without any attachments. It's important because they don't send malware on the beginning stage. They just send a simple email like, hello, John, can we have a talk or have a discussion about something, invitation to conference or something similar. And then they're just waiting for answer from potential victims. And if they have this answer, after that, they're trying to proceed the conversation and send in replied emails malware. Basically, they use Word documents with macro exploit, but they also used link and gem files as well. After victim open this attachment from this email, they implement downloader on the PC. So they have two versions. One of them called Silence Downloader and iWalk. After that, this downloader is trying to get information from command and control center, and after that we have, Silence have commands from CNC. They decided what will be next. For example, they can install a proxy bot to use local PC like a proxy to get access to other local PC, which maybe don't have any access to the internet, or main model, which is basically a model which can be used like a simple backdoor on this specific PC. And of course, they use known administrative tools to get more information about system and also for lateral movement as well. After that, they have access to the full local network. They can find some ITMs or maybe Swift servers, and they use their own tools like Atmosphere or XFX to transfer money via Swift or cash out money via ATM. So let's start with threat hunting. Probably you already know a bit about threat hunting. It's a popular. It's very popular in last time, and basically you read about this in Twitter news or anywhere. So you need to know that it's always proactive. All threat hunting is basically starts with hypothesis. So you create the hypothesis, then check this hypothesis, trying to get additional information. Is it work or not? And after that, you decide to move on further step. For example, send information to your incident response team or to your analyst. However, you need to understand, like, is your hypothesis real or unreal? For example, if you create hypothesis like Microsoft has a backdoor on my PC, then you need to decide how you will check it. Yeah, and basically it's very hard to check is Microsoft or, for example, Intel has backdoor in your processor. So this hypothesis looks unreal. Yeah, you need to create something related to the real world. For example, somebody a few days ago in the night launched a remote tool in my network, yeah, which is not normal, and I should check the logs, and maybe after that I will find something interesting. So hypothesis must be real, must be related to the real world. Yes, basically threat hunting can be proceeded manually, so all logs can be checked manually. However, you can use different systems, log collection, or agents on endpoint to get information from PC, and network analysis tool to have all the information about traffic in your company. And simple anomaly search from different sources. Threat hunting can help you to understand about potential threats in your company, yeah, or maybe something that classic solutions haven't detected yet. Also, it can help you to understand effectiveness of existing solutions, like you can find something that your IDS or, for example, your sandbox solution haven't detected, and you can use the results of your threat hunting to improve the solutions, for example, or build new processes to detect such incidents in the future. And of course, it will help you to protect from further attacks. So you need to know that also it's not a new concept, so it's pretty old term. It's not a technology because it's basically a manual work. The best option, of course, if you have special forces or just special employees for threat hunting, and they will do all this work simultaneously. They will be responsible only for threat hunting, and it will help them to focus on it. It's not a tool, of course, but still employees can use different tools to improve threat hunting process. And it can be fully automated because basically it can, but for that you need some kind of new AI which will be like almost human. Yeah, so this is probably can be in future, but not right now, unfortunately. Not based on alerts from security solutions, yes, because when you're trying just analyze alerts, basically it's just a simple work for your security operations center. So threat hunter is not responsible for alert analyzing, and it's not just indicators of compromise checking. Yeah, because you need to do something more, not just domain or hash checking in your traffic, for example. And here you can actually see pyramid of pain. It also not only for threat hunter, but for hackers as well. Yeah. For example, hash value. You can just simply take hash and check this hash in your old databases. Maybe you had some related files to this hash before, and it's very simple. However, it's also very simple for hacker to change this hash. So this is almost trivial for both party. Yeah. And for threat hunter, you can easily check hash, but hash can be easily changed by hacker as well. IP address, almost the same situation. Super easy to check, and basically it's also super easy for hacker to create new infrastructure and use new IPs for attack. The same actually with domain names. The next is network and host artifacts, which already is much more interesting because you can check specific URI, you can check specific network patterns, maybe user agents, and this can be already a problem for hacker because to change this information on the hacker side, they need to redevelop their techniques, they need to redevelop their malware, they need to do something to accept this detection in future. And tools, which already is more complicated because in this case, you need at least logs from your PCs in your network. And for hacker, it's almost extremely, not extremely, but it's also hard to change tools every time for each attack. Yeah, for example, if they use Mimikatz, basically they don't need to, it will be hard to change Mimikatz or something else. Of course, they can use just different techniques in Mimikatz, but basically they will use this tool. And TTPs. In this case, they need to change everything, and also you need to know almost everything about cyber criminals. So the difference about threat hunting and like a basic threat hunting. So basic threat hunting is almost just simple indicators check, which actually not threat hunting, but however, you can use and domains and IPs and hash values, but basically it's not a job for real threat hunting. For real threat hunting, it's important to focus on TTPs, tools, and network host artifacts. And here, basically, we can use a lot of automatization tools. For example, you can have feeds of domains, IPs, and hash, and check this feed automatically. Probably you will have some false positive and etc., but still it can be almost fully automated. Here, it's already hard to automate all the process related to tools, TTP detection. Maybe it can be a bit automated for network artifacts. Okay, let's take a look on another maturity model. So basically here, you can start your threat hunting process from initial stage to leading stage. This 0 level is about alerting and without any log collection. So it's like a not threat hunting, but still can be used in your company. The first level is about using of threat intelligence from third-party sources, like Group IB, for example. And also on this stage, you should collect some logs, at least from your general shares that you have in your network. Procedural. In this case, you need to analyze all data flows in your company. You also need to collect information from all endpoints that you have in your network and use this information for threat hunting. Innovative. In this case, you need not only like collect this information, analyze this information, but basically create new ideas related to threat hunting. And of course, on this stage, you need to have all the logs from all the sources that you have in your company. And leading, in this case, it means that you should use some optimization tools, like threat detection system that we have. Few words about evolution. Yeah, of course, all start just with simple technology, with CM or intrusion detection systems. It's almost manual process, so you can analyze logs in CM, for example, from Windows audit or from your servers. You can see some logs in IDS, for example, simple internet connections or alerts as well. So basically, it's not threat hunting. Take a lot of time to analyze all the logs because you don't have any graphic tools for analyzing, and basically you don't have so much logs from different sources. When you already have agent on your PC, it's much more easier to provide threat hunting. Yeah, because most of attacks starts just of compromising of simple PC of your secretary, for example, and you should use some agents to collect logs from all these computers. And for that, you can use TDS Handpoint to collect the logs, and Handbox can be used to visualize all information related to these logs, and also for searching to create different search requests related to different processes. Also, you can collect information about all files in the system, and all that can be used for local threat hunting. And it's like a part of optimization for threat hunting. And you can also use some external tools for attacker infrastructure researching to get more information about cyber criminals. Let's see some examples related to this internal tool actually that we have to provide external threat hunting, or we also call it global threat hunting. Maybe you know this technique, pivoting, which basically used for the last 10 years to get information about some kind of infrastructure, not especially about hackers, but still. So what's the difference about global threat hunting and pivoting? Basically, we call it global threat hunting because we have a lot of sources and we use a lot of algorithms to correlate all this information. So it's not only about network nodes, it's not only about domains and IPs. We also have the information from who is data. We also scanning all IPv4 stack. We are getting information about active services. We have this historical information about active services, and we're trying to correlate this information with information about cyber criminals from threat intelligence system. So let's take a look. Now I will change my screen and let's do some live demo. Let's take a look one of my famous examples. I will just type in one domain name, which can be familiar to you. Here, yeah, it's a little bit funny, at least for Russian speakers. However, I just get information about infrastructure related with this domain name. So basically, you can see connections with different IPs, with different domain names, also some tags related to this domain name, emails, and also IP addresses, SSL certificates, SSH keys, different files, emails from who is data, phones, and tags related to cyber criminals. Yeah, here we see that this domain name is connected with Silence group. As I showed you before, yeah, example of Silence attack. So they used this domain name for one of them attack before. What we can get actually from here is different tools that they used. Basically here they used a remote connection tool, Dark Comet, and Silence Backdoor. Maybe you remember it from my previous slides. And also we can get more information about this infrastructure, like historical who is data. Here, for example, you can see the last version of who is data. However, a few years ago, it was different. Yeah, it's still probably fake information, but we have here zip codes, city, phone numbers, which can be checked, at least for investigation. And the same is DNS records. So we have our own database with DNS related to each domain name. This information can be used to determine active services on the specific domain time on the specific period. The same information about IP addresses. Like I said before, we provide scanning of IPv4 stacks. So we have information about active ports, depending on that period. Like you can see that a few months ago there was active 8 ports, which probably mean that there was active web server, in this case Apache on Ubuntu. But a few years ago there was only SSH access. So all of this information can be used for investigation. It can be used for to get more indicators of compromise for your threat hunting as well. And of course, like I said before, in case of IPs and domain names, you can easily automate this process to get information about cyber criminals and just click on the button, check all these indicators of compromise in my company, which is super comfortable, yeah, because you don't need to do it manually. Also, we can go deeper. For example, I can click on Silence Backdoor, this specific tool, and get more information about nodes that were connected with this tool previously. Yeah, you can see that They use this tool in many attacks related to different IPs, and we can click on each one and also get information about these IPs as well. Yeah, and here we just understand that they used a proxy bot for this specific IP as well. So basically, you can research, go deeper and deeper, and get more indicators of compromise for your researching. Another example related to different cyber criminals. Let me type the domain name. 03454 32 456. Okay, let's do it. Here is our domain name, and we can see that we catched a lot of emails from Whois data as well. They're anonymized, but still this information can be used for investigation. We see direct connection with Cobalt cybercriminal group, and also we see that they used their own tool, Cobalt Ante, and much more interesting different network nodes, like different IPs, different domain names, and you can see connection. You can see how it's correlating. For example, this case via IP, we see connection with this domain name, which also was used previously in attack related to Cobalt group. So this tool can be used for retrospective analysis, for investigation, for indicators of compromise enrichment, and you can also automatize this process and automatically check all these indicators of compromise in your network, which is extremely helpful. Okay, going back to the presentation. To detect APT and basically protect from APT, you should use threat intelligence. It's not only about just simple IOC feeds, it's also about detailed description of cybercriminals, detailed information about techniques that they use, about known patterns, maybe information about user samples. So Group IB threat intelligence can provide this information. You can see that we also have kill chain for each cybercriminal. So you can use this information to, maybe you don't have attack from this cybercriminal, but still you can learn about specific techniques that they use and test this technique in your company. And this information can be used for threat hunting. Like you see that this specific group used custom payloads, and basically you can get information from threat intelligence about this payload and check this payload in your network traffic. For example, this can be used for threat hunting or any different kind of technique that you used before. Good example of detailed description of the specific attack. In this case from Cobalt as well. So we have different time periods. Basically, you can choose whatever you want, like which attack was a year ago or just some last attacks, and you can always get information from about this attack, especially related to different indicators. So it can be used for different reasons, for IOC enrichment as well. It's all connected with our graphing tool, which global investigation tool, and also you can get a lot of information about techniques and tactics and procedures that they use. Yes, of course, we have our own solution, which calls threat detection system. It can be used for local trend hunting. But it's not only about threat hunting, it's also about protection of your network from different type of attacks, include APT as well. We have here different models, which is Handpoint. This is software which can be installed on your PC and get all information about processes, about users' behavior. It can be also used for response. For example, you can use this tool to isolate your PC or block suspicious process. It automates it and can basically save your network from lateral movement. Polygon, which is our malware detonation tool, it's much more than just simple sandbox, because we use a lot of different techniques to get detailed information about files behavior, and all this information can be used for threat hunting. You can imagine that you have behavior reports for all files in your network which you have. Maybe there's some just simple files which actually not related to real malware, but it can be some kind of admin tools or some suspicious documents with unworking links and etc. So you have all these behavior markers, and you can use these markers for threat hunting. For example, if you want to find some kind of suspicious files in your network. And sensor, which basically can be integrated with your span traffic from different type of device, like proxy, tab devices, any kind of router switches, and also we can integrate with ICAP in blocking mode as well. We can get information about your emails and attachments, links from these emails will be analyzed in Polygon. And as a result, you have Handbox, which is basically interface, which will be used for threat hunting, for monitoring, and also for a global investigation tool as well. Through Handbox, you can also provide a response. It can be automatically, for example, we can use Handpoint to block automatically a suspicious process, but we also have some manual features like isolate this specific machine from local and external networks. And you can run up our global investigation tool. You can get more indicators of compromise and use them to find something suspicious in your networks, because we collect a lot of logs from these sources. It's not only about alerts, it's also about logs that can be used for threat hunting. And of course, we use sophisticated search for that reason. We have different keywords. You can actually combine different keywords to get more information, more detailed information about, for example, process that they are looking for from Handpoint. Handbox is integrated with threat intelligence, so all information about cyber criminals will be integrated like rules and Handbox. And we create a lot of signatures. We have feeds from threat intelligence, and it can be used for detection as well. And just some statistics that we have in our global investigation tools. Basically, we scan all IPv4, like I said before. We have information about almost 2 billion SSH certificates, more than 200 million SSH fingerprints, and a lot of domain names. So this is a basic scheme of integration of our solution. Like I said before, the main integration part is sensor, so it can be integrated with ICAP, email, mirror traffic, and some other systems, basically many sources, for example, shared folders, FTP servers, to get information about all files that we have. So sensor will extract files, and all files will be sent to our Polygon. And the result will be in Handbox. Handbox basically can be on-premise or it can be cloud solution, but it always requires. We also provide service related to SOC operation. So basically we can analyze all events that you have in Handbox and provide you notification about these events. And it's not only about events analyzer, because CertGit can also help you with threat hunting as well, to analyze some logs from different sources. So more detailed information about sensor. Basically, like I said before, this is the main integration part. In our case, we have a lot of unique signatures to detect some suspicious activity in the traffic. However, we use machine learning algorithms to detect some suspicious activity, for example, related to domain generation algorithms or for any kind of lateral movement. Also, sensor collect a lot of network logs, which can be used for threat hunting as well. And sensor is responsible for work with emails. So we will analyze all links that you have, and we use machine learning algorithms to decide if the link can be malicious or not, because basically you don't want us to click on all the links in your email, because yeah, we can unsubscribe for something, or we can activate account, and etc. So we use special algorithm to decide is a link can be suspicious or not, and after that we're trying to download file from this link. And sensor also will try to catch password. For example, if we have encrypted archive in email, password can be in the source of email, password can be in different attachment, or, for example, in replied email as well. So basically, we're trying to get files from any kind of sources, and we also try to get files from links, from different attachments. Also, it can be inactive link, and this is actually a popular scheme which can be used by cybercriminals. For example, in the evening, they send inactive link to your financial department, and in the morning, it becomes active. Yeah, for sure, this email with this link will pass our spam filters. It will pass also sandbox solution. Yeah, because link just inactive, it completely new link from new email, completely new domain name. It wasn't blacklisted anyway before, so it will pass each of your security solution. Maybe you can just block this email with your security policy if you have it. But in the morning, financial department, we will open this email and click on the link. And in the morning, links become active. So in this case, probably one of your employee in financial department will be infected. However, we use retrospective analysis for links, so all links will be reanalyzed. And yes, it will be passed, but still we will have retrospective alert about this, like, hey, actually in this email, this specific link was inactive, but now it's active and there is a real malware. So we're also trying to cover such cases as well. Polygon is our malware detection tool. So I said about it already. So basically, of course, you will have alerts about some suspicious files in your network, but also we collect all the reports about all the files in your system, and these reports can be used for threat hunting. Yeah, it's a huge database and very helpful. For example, if you want to check some specific behaviors related to different files from different sources. And of course, we use different advanced anti-evasion techniques to show malware like we are a real PC. So basically on this stage, it's just not possible to understand is it a virtual machine or not. Different sources, like I said, downloads, email attachments, links, and of course we aim to detect target attacks as well. Endpoint, like I said before, that it can be installed on your PCs to get information about all users' behavior, about all processes, also information about files that user have on his PC. For example, if user just brought USB flash device and to get or maybe bring some files from home which can be infected, we can detect it basically with endpoint. Also, it can be used for response, like I said before. So we can block suspicious process, we can block suspicious files on the PC, or we can use endpoint to completely isolate computer from external and local networks. Handbox is a global interface for all of these models that we have. Of course, we use correlated algorithms to correlate events from different sources. So you're not supposed to see like thousands of different events because they will be correlated in one. And it's extremely helpful because you don't need to like analyze thousands and thousands of events like in CM. Here you will have events related to different severity, and basically you can use also our SOC to analyze all these events, and they will notify you about critical events even via phone call. So with these models, basically we can cover all of channels that can be used for attacks, like email, browser. For example, if somebody trying to get access to compromised websites and download fake Flash installer, like with BadRabbit, yeah. Removable device, yeah, to get to analyze all files from USB flash device, for example, and etc. Good example of what we have, you can have, I mean, using our endpoint solution. Basically, it can be used to visualize all the process that we have on the PC, and you can actually threat hunt on any stage of this process. You can start with just simple indicators of compromise checking. You can try to hunt suspicious emails because we have all emails in our system, so we can basically check emails. Here we can see that somebody opened email from Thunderbird and then have the zip file which had this execution file, and after that we have doc file with macros which is trying to implement some commands in PowerShell. So in the end, we have connection with command and control center, and on this stage, PC is affected and get commands from command and control central. So we're almost out of time at the moment. Basically, I said a lot of many different attacks. Yeah, it was a little bit short information about threat hunting. However, right now we can check your questions and also have a talk about if you have any questions at the moment. Yeah, just to remind you, if you have any questions, you can actually ask it right now in the chat or in question section. Yeah, reference links will be shared after the presentation. I think we can share the presentation itself, and also this webinar is recorded, so it will be shared as well, as I understand. So yes, the presentation will be shared, so you will have a chance to take a look deep on it. How can we automate the process threat hunting activity? Like I said before, it cannot be fully automated. Yes, because it's more about human process, but you can use different tool to get it more comfortable for you. For example, you can just collect logs and store them in CM, or you can use solutions like Handbox to visualize all the log, to use sophisticated searching to get more information, to get more deeper information about each process on the PC or each email, each file. So it cannot be fully automated, but still you can use different tools to make it more simple for you, to make it more faster. Is there any clue how to start threat hunting from EDR or antivirus point? I'm not sure that basically you can use antivirus to provide full threat hunting process, but from EDR, yes, because EDR collects a lot of logs. If you already have EDR solution, probably it makes sense, for example, to search some popular threat hunting hints from the internet. For example, in Twitter, there are many popular accounts related to threat hunting, and basically you can subscribe on them and see a lot of information about threats. Yeah, it's because it's simple and it's free. So, for example, somebody tweeted about a new suspicious process that he found in his company, and you can just get information this from Twitter and then check information about this process on your EDR solution. Basically, you can start with that, but of course, it makes sense to use like third-party threat intelligence systems to get information, specific information about techniques, about patterns of hackers, and more indicators of compromise. How the deployment looks like. Let me go back to the slide. So basically, it's a general scheme of integration for TDS. Yeah, sensor must be integrated with mirrored traffic. It can be from SPAN or tab devices. It also can be integrated with email system through different methods. Like we can integrate via POP3 protocol or IMAP or SMTP. We can also set up sensor in inline mode to block suspicious emails, or we can work just in detection mode. After all, sensor can extract files from different sources, and all files will be sent to Polygon. So these models can be stored on premise or Polygon, which can be in cloud. And Huntbox will provide you interface to manage all the devices or all the alerts to get additional information about hackers, provide global and local threat hunting, and also there is a cool correlation algorithm which can use to which can be used to correlate different alerts in one event. If you want more information about deployment stage, basically we can provide it to you after the webinar. Again, question about deployment architecture. So it's simple, just mirror traffic, email system, maybe some sharing folders like FTP and etc. All this will be integrated with sensor, and all files will be sent to our malware detection tool, which is Polygon, and the result will be in Huntbox. And Huntpoint is a software which can be implemented on your PCs, and in this case, Huntbox must be implemented on premise. Yeah, all reference can be found in presentation. So basically, presentation will be shared with you after webinar. Will it be accept other threat feed into your solution? We have our own threat intelligence platform, which one of the best on the market. I'm sure about it. And basically, we don't have this option for third-party feeds because we care about false positives from the feeds. But still, you can create new signatures, and also you have a lot of logs, so you can check these logs manually using our search algorithms. Okay, let's wait a few minutes more for any other questions. I didn't mention it, but we also have decryptor as well. So if you don't have any decryptor for SSL traffic, like any kind of MITM solution, we can also provide MITM solution to decrypt all the traffic in the network and also analyze it for any potential threats as well. Which can be really helpful because many cyber criminals using decryption to cover information that's sent to command and control centrals. Okay, so as I see, we don't have any other questions. Webinar was recorded, so it will be sent to you guys. And also we can share, of course, the presentation, information about deployment, information about architecture can be shared directly to you. Just send an email or use our forum to get more information about TDS, or you can just PM me and ask anything about this webinar or about any of our solutions. So I see any question. Is there any recommendation threat hunting playbook that's relevant now with criminals case like Silence? Yeah, we have a lot of not playbooks, but it's like a source information about techniques that they use and information about processes, created process from malware that they use. So all of this information can be used for threat hunting. We have it on our threat intelligence portal. In case of completed playbook in open source, right now we don't have information, so it can be provided only via threat intelligence platform. However, you can find a lot of maybe a little bit old, but still playbook, which can be used for threat hunting, at least to start the process. Yes, my email, we don't have it. Yeah, I just type it in the chat. So here is my email. Okay, so I don't see any further questions right now, but anyway, you can ask them directly or send them via feedback of the webinar. So I really hope that you enjoyed the webinar, and thank you for joining. Goodbye all.